Yeah, I think we can go.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, guys. Firstly, thank you for jumping on. I know it's late, last minute. We're trying to get this going. Everyone's got hectic schedules, and so we'll try and keep this short and sweet so everyone can have an enjoyable evening at some point this evening and get to bed and get some rest. So essentially the aim and vision of the call today of this presentation is for myself and Matt to introduce ourselves and introduce some things that we're going to be starting to kind of implement within the club and bring the club forward and kind of get you guys on track with that. Tom is recording the call, which is great, which means you can probably refer back to this call. Not only the guys aren't here, but you guys can refer back to the call. And any material you see here today, just let us know if you want us to send it to you. We can send it across, and you guys can have it. That way, you guys have all of the material, all the details that's needed. No problems, no questions asked.
Ellen, just send it to me. I'll share it with everybody through Google Drive, so this everybody has.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Easy enough. Easily done. So our outline for today, just so you guys know what we're doing, we're going to go over our goals. So myself and Matt's what we're here to do, what we're aiming to do. And then it's going to break down a little bit. We're going to go over creating our identity as a club. Then I'm going to kick it to Matt. Matt's got a separate presentation on his specifics for his U9 to U12 program that he'll be running for the club. Then we're going to go over our training session DNA and what we want our training sessions to look like, and some standards and things we want our training sessions to uphold. Then we're going to go over our coaching standards and what it's going to be like to coach for Hollywood FC, and we'll have a little summary as well at the end on that. Just a quick one about me. I know Matt's going to go over his stuff. Just a quick thing about me, nothing too in detail. So currently the assistant men's soccer coach at Nova. I've got experience as a coach in the NPSL, both as a head coach and as an assistant coach. As well as I've worked and played at various levels, both in the USA and in England, but I won't bore you with that. That was a history a long time ago. Nothing too excited about. Hired at Hollywood FC in July, so a few weeks ago now, a month or so ago. Been in the South Florida area for about 3 weeks now, and so my role here is as technical director for you guys to try and help you guys with the club. Formerly, my main role was the director of coaching and player development for the MLS Next program at Inter Atlanta FC. We were a club in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'd been there since about 2017. Since about 2017, and then just a little personal stuff. I've been married since 2019. Live with my wife Angie. She's still in Georgia at the moment. She'll be here soon. With our dog Layla as well. So that's just my little thing about me. I'm sure Matt will probably introduce himself as well when we kick it to him as well, just to go over some stuff so you guys know our backgrounds. So the goal of our role and what we're here to do for you guys, kind of want to give some clarity over this. So we're here to help create an environment that improves the players and the coaches, so you guys more importantly as well, or as important, both equally and holistically. So what that means is we're here to help. We're not here to police. We're not here to tell you what you're doing wrong. Do it this way. Don't do that. Why are you doing that? Do this. We're not here to moan and groan and grumble at you guys. We're here to help. We're here to be, like I said in the next point, a 360-degree sounding board for new ideas. We want to, no idea is a bad idea. It's just worth a discussion. Some things are obviously, some ideas are more suitable than others. Some topics of discussion are more suitable than others. We want to be a sounding board using our experience, using our knowledge and our viewpoint, our opinions to help you and potentially make you, better for the club and better as a coach and individual for the players as well. We're here to try and help develop a way that we play, a style of play, a DNA, a club identity, whichever way you want to put it, that will be identifiable, hopefully, not from the get-go, but in time will be identifiable from one team to the next. So if our aim and our goal is that in however many years down the line this takes to get to that point, that you go and watch a U12 team that plays for Hollywood FC, and you go and watch a U16 team, girls and boys, and it doesn't matter which team you watch, you know, things will be different. So some things will be slightly different, but you'll be able to tell that's a Hollywood FC team, or you'll be at a crowded tournament, and from across the park or from across the facility, you'll be able to point at a team and go, I know that is a Hollywood FC team, because you can see in the way that the standards and the way that the style of play is being played, and the way that the players are conducting themselves, all of those things make us identifiable to everyone. We want to create a community environment, which I think we've already got, but we want to create an environment where teams support each other, where U15s are excited for the U13s, U12 girls are excited for the U14 boys, U14 boys are going to watch the U17 girls play, and there's a support and a knowledge and a growth mindset around everyone, that it's a one club mindset. It's not an individual mindset. It's a club mindset where everyone is in together, helping each other out. And players are doing that together. We obviously want to get our players to the collegiate level and above. That's a long-term goal. I think myself and more so Matt have had great experience at the collegiate level, and obviously knows what it takes to get to that level. And so as we make strides and steps to have a better standard and have a better identity, we can start to make those steps to make ourselves more ready to get our players to that level. We want to increase the notoriety and the footprint of the club. We want to make sure the club is felt and heard in our local community, but also felt and heard in the community of sort of South Florida, and even, you know, further reaching Florida, and even further than that, national soccer footprint. That's ultimately the goal, and our ambition. Although albeit that it will be something that will be done over time, and certainly won't be done today or in the next couple of months or next year even. So what we're not going to do, we aren't here to tell you what formation to play. We're not here to give you, give you strict guidance on you have to do it this way. This is the right way. This is the only way. This is my way. We're not going to tell you exactly how to train for the same reasons. We're not going to say you have to do this, you have to do that. It has to be like this. It has to be like that. Okay. We are going to give you standards. We are going to give you ideas. We are going to give you a framework and a club culture that we want you to work within. But we certainly aren't going to be pocket coaches and sit behind you and tell you exactly what you're doing wrong and what you have to do better and what you have to do different. But we are going to work with you to make sure you reach the highest levels you possibly can, and obviously make sure that you are contributing to the club as well. And certainly what we're not going to do is bore you with science or stats and go off tangents. And we're obviously not going to critique each other, yourself. You know, we're not going to critique you. We don't expect you to critique us or critique each other in front of players. We want to keep all coaching conversations professional and above level, and in an appropriate and professional manner as well. Our goals continued. We want to be approachable, so that you guys can feel that you can come to us with anything. You guys can ask us questions. We're obviously very busy during the fall. We want to be out there and approachable and be seen as much as we can. But you guys will have all of our details. We're in group chats. You'll have our phone numbers and email addresses. We want to be approachable and contactable for any questions or problems. We want to be a resource to help you all. We want to use our knowledge and our background to be able to give you the tools to make yourself better and make your team better, make your players better, and make the club better. We want to challenge you. We want to give you direction and challenge you, make you a better coach, give you some challenges and hurdles to beat, so that it isn't just smooth sailing, but also you're learning and developing as a human, as a coach. We want to help you see the wood for the trees at times. We want to help you have clarity. We want to help you have direction and clarity, help you forget and move past some things that maybe you don't need to worry about or you're overthinking, and give you some clarity. And we're here to make us all better, and therefore make our players better, which is ultimately the most important thing, is the players, and getting them to be developed as best as they possibly can be. So I'm just going to go quickly before I kick to Matt. I'm just going to go over our identity. I'm not going to go into too much detail because we can get into the weeds here a little bit, but I'm going to go over it. And again, you'll have this call, and we'll have this presentation sent to you, so you guys will be able to look into it in more detail. But I'll go over it briefly. So, kind of what we want to be promoting and enhancing the culture of soccer in our community. We want to have opportunity and training for the youth of Hollywood and obviously surrounding areas, so that they can learn the game of soccer and develop not just individual skill and fitness, but teamwork, fair play. We want to do things the right way. So that's a small little mission statement for us. Core values, these are actually on our website. I stole these from Tom, and I actually really like them. It's not just a field, it's our home. So it's where we want to treat that with respect. We are not just 11, we are hundreds. As like I said, that comes back to our same point about what mine and Matt's goals are about having the club be a community club where one team supports each other. It's not just a kit, it is our skin. We want our players to be proud of where they play. We're not just a crowd, we are a family. We want our fans to be supportive. And that will come, again, maybe answer some questions about that, but that will come with some parent education stuff that I'll be looking to do as well over the year. And it's not just a club, it's our life. So we're all very much in it for the right reasons. So what, why, and how. I'm not going to go again too much into the weeds on that, but you guys can have that to look at, read about what we're trying to do. But that's pretty much going over what we just looked at. So when creating our identity, we want to look at what's around us. Our city of Hollywood, what are the characteristics? It's diverse, it's multicultural, creative, hospitable with all the businesses. It's inclusive, it's passionate, it's semi-fast paced, sort of fast paced, very resilient. These are all characteristics of the city that I've kind of done research on and found were linked to the city, and what we could probably, one or two may be different, but what we can all agree is something that we think of the city of Hollywood and their area. So our club, how we perceived, well, again, in research, we're parent or volunteer run for the most part in terms of our board, and a lot of volunteers, a lot of people giving their time. We're community oriented. We're nice people for the most part. We're typically perceived as a feeder club, as a club that does well with the younger ages, and we give those more talented players, or we allow those more talented players then to move on to bigger clubs of U13 and older. We develop good technical players, good technical creative players, and we're a diverse club that has various cultures and ethnicities. So how do we want to be perceived? Well, that kind of is a lasting question, but certainly, do we want to be a destination club that players don't feel like they have to leave us and to go to these bigger other clubs, U13 and above? Yes, I believe so. Do we want to have be a club that has a pathway from U6 all the way to U19 that allows all players of all abilities to compete? Absolutely, we do. We want to be a club that is steadfast in our identity, something that we believe in our identity, we stick to it, and we use it. Again, that's just outlaid here in a nice, cool little graphic that you guys can look at as well. So same situation here, a cool graphic in how the characteristics of the city of Hollywood can also be reflected in our identity and our required technical framework of what we want to put together here today. So we're creative, and we're a creative city. We have technical players, for example. We're a hospitable town and city, and we're a very community oriented club. So they go hand in hand. A lot of the characteristics of the city go hand in hand with the background and the idea of what Hollywood FC is as a club. So we want to, again, to go back to that, we want to create players who are creative, fast-paced, resilient, technical. We want to be diverse, but also, most importantly, we want our players to understand the connection to community and what it feels like to represent in Hollywood. Going back to, we want our players to feel proud in their kit, proud in their uniforms. And this is just something that goes over a small little project that I did about what do we want our players' characteristics to be. And this is more of a long-term goal, not so easy on the front end, because we don't have the huge wealth of players coming to tryouts of hundreds of kids that like big clubs might be able to do. So we're realistically looking for the best players, and we're going to try and mold them as best as we can into the players we feel like they should be. And we don't necessarily have player profiles for every position, but this is a good little breakdown of maybe what we should be aiming for these positions. All right, I'm going to kick it to Matt. I'm going to let Matt take over from here and let his presentation speak a little bit. Tom, I want to give it over to Matt.
Can I just share my screen, Adam? Is that all right?
You should be able to, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. Can everyone see that okay? Yeah. All right, cool. So guys, again, thank you for having me. Happy to be here and really excited to certainly, again, like Adam's saying, work with the players and the coaches from U9 to U12. That's, going to be, kind of my forefront. Just a little bit again about myself. Back in England, played for Norwich City, who were in the Championship at the time and ended up playing, going to the Premier League. I played collegiate soccer over here for 4 years in the US. My first head coaching job in the NCAA I was 24 years old, which was, excuse me, 12 years ago now. I am the current head coach at Nova Southeast. I've been there 6 years. Have my UEFA B and my NSCAA Premier Diploma, and our most recent success at Nova were SSC Conference champs, regional champs, NCAA Final Four. We're currently ranked number 3 in the country, and our staff were named regional coach and staff of the year. So that's kind of a little bit about myself. Now, this is just in regards to, I'm sure Adam will repeat a little bit of this. It might even be exactly the same, but from U9 to U12, I'll read this really quick. All right. So philosophy of what we're kind of looking for when we go out to training. So training should be organized, engaging, and fun. Coaches must be energetic teachers, striving to create a positive environment for players and parents. We want sessions designed and implemented to ensure that players enjoy learning and want to return. Avoid the 3 L's: lines, laps, lectures. At the young age, games are less important than training, although both are needed. Learning, improving, and building a foundation are more important than winning. That's really important that we understand that part. Every kid should play, and all players should be free to make mistakes and learn from them. Our teams should try and build from the back through intelligent passing and movement. It is okay at key moments, such as a tournament final, for coaches to make small adjustments to try for the win, as long as the winning doesn't become more important than the development of players and team. So in a nutshell, guys, this is how I expect our U9s to U12s to have this philosophy. And when we go out to training, kind of understand, if I'm looking around at training sessions, these are the things that I guess, I should be witnessing, I should be seeing as we go through it. And so what I've done, which is a little bit different to Adam, just in terms of the general U9 to U12, I want to give you guys a resource. So as he said, I'm here to help you guys. I'm here as a resource. We've been out to a few sessions so far. I've witnessed loads of positives. We've been evaluating. I've watched games. I've watched some of you coach, and it's been fantastic. And I've seen loads of positives. But we do feel that the club could use certainly some structure in terms of the training sessions in general. So as we go through this, the training sessions and curriculum. So again, the curriculum that I have come up with, that I have laid out, it's a tactical periodization plan. It's organized into a 16-week cycle. Each week should include unopposed technical work, so ball work without opponents, and opposed technical, 1v1 to small number games and rondos. Practice activities each week should also include opportunities to play 6v6 or larger. On a daily basis, training sessions should follow play, practice, play methodology. So that's whole, part, whole, play, practice, play, whatever you're used to saying. Methodology recommended by US Soccer. 1 training session per week has been provided. Each coach should follow the tactical periodization plan, use keywords and guided questions. However, as appropriate for individual age groups, coaches may adjust or change out an activity as long as they maintain the theme. So the topic of the week, keywords, guided questions, etc. Unopposed technical work is recommended as the kids arrive prior to them joining the first game. Established teams will rotate monthly. So I'm just going to show you real quick kind of what the curriculum from the U9 to U12 will look like. And I have done it all basically for you guys. You just have to follow along. You can come up with your own sessions. As Adam said, I'm not here to police that. I've given you sessions as well. So if you want to use them, you can use the whole session. I've laid it out on the other day of the week. So if you've trained twice a week, one day you can use my session, for example, and the other day you can come up with your own session. But we would like it to follow the play, practice, play methodology and I've even given you guided discovery, which you should all know about, which you've all probably learned about within your coaching courses at grassroots level. I've given you all of the questions, all of the guided discovery questions, and all of the answers that you're looking for. If you are struggling in sessions, you can use these opportunities, you can use these guided questions to help you get your coaching points out. And the keywords that I have there, you can also use there. All right, so this is all going to be on Play Metrics, so you can have access to it. And I'm going to show you kind of a quick week by week. So first week, for example, when we start in, in a couple of weeks, in a week in August, week 1 and week 9 will be passing and receiving. Week 2, scoring goals. Week 3, 11, preventing goals. Week 4 to 12, building out the back. You can see the rest. Okay. So basically what we do is we do the week 1 and then we do 8-week cycle. And then we go back to week 1 again, and we'll do the same 8-week cycle again. So basically they're getting 4 sessions in passing and receiving, 4 sessions in scoring goals, et cetera, et cetera. And again, this is all laid out for you guys so you can see it. Adam, I know, will go through this part. This is basically what we're talking about with play, practice, play. And this is generally how our sessions will look. So if you remember back at the curriculum, we spoke about establishing a theme that will rotate monthly. So for example, when your players get to training, if your theme is ball manipulation, you may be working on the theme of ball manipulation for 10 minutes. So toe touches, step overs, any sort of turns, anything in there, that could be your theme. And you're doing that for 10 minutes. They can get there, they can work on that, and you can guide them through that. So for the first 10 minutes, that's something you can do. And then you basically have 3 20-minute slots. And I know that equals 1 hour and 10 minutes, but with water breaks and everything, and after you guys chat and lay out the next part of the session, I'm sure it'll be an hour and a half, which is generally how your session will run. So as you can see, activity 1, small-sided game, play, start with playing, small-sided game that is related to the topic of that week. And as you see at the top here, we've got curriculum topic, passing and receiving. So this is all here for you. So as you can see, at the bottom where I'm pointing, I've given you guided questions. What part of the foot should we pass and receive with? Seems simple, but these are the questions that you can ask. And then as simple as getting the answer from the kids, the inside of the foot. Another question, when a ball is rolling towards you, how do you pass the ball quickly into the goal? Again, keep our eyes on the ball and strike through the middle of the ball. Simple, easy, guided questions that you can help your players learn the answers instead of always giving them the answer. That is key. We need to make sure that these players are learning and not just getting dictated to and saying, hey, this is what you need to do. The biggest question is why? So we have progressions in here. I have, like I say, the guided questions and answers, and we'll also have key phrases that you need to use throughout your session. So the first activities you can see here is just a basic 3v3 or 4v4 plus 1. It's a play. It works on passing and receiving. The next part is more a practice part. So it will be like a Champions League passing and receiving. You play the ball through the cones. That's a point, fun, engaging, easy, and you can progress it. I've even got progressions here. You can use different parts of the foot to take the touch to the side and then pass the ball back through. And then the last activity will be, again, playing. So simple. At this last one, we've just got a small-sided game, passing focus. So you may have some sort of rule or bonus points or whatever for, let's say, passing and receiving. Your bonus point might be you can score a goal in the small goal, or you can pass 3 times to each one of your teammates. That is also 2 goals, for example. So again, focusing on the topic, play, practice, play. And you've just got to remember, use the guided questions that I've given you in every single session that I have. I have all 8 weeks laid out, and you can use the keywords and try and use consistent language as much as possible. Finding the right opportunities to stop and coach at appropriate times, which again, I'm sure most of you guys have done in terms of your coaching licenses. I know some of you have done grassroots. I know some of you have gone a lot further than that. So that's basically how our training session should look. As I said, you can use the sessions that I've laid out, and then you can come up with your own, or you can do 2 sessions that are 100% your own. Doesn't matter. We just need to follow the curriculum in terms of the topics, and then making sure that each session has the same methodology in terms of play, practice, play, with the ball, with a theme at the start. And guys, that's it. I'm really, really excited to work with you. Thank you for taking the 10 minutes to listen to me today. I'll put all of this on there, play metrics that will be there for you. If you need to reach out, please do. I'm here to be your resource. I don't think I can be there as much as Adam will, but like I say, I just want to try and use the experience and try and help help the rest of you guys achieve, you know, your goals, and hopefully something, you know, something positive can come out of it. But again, as Adam said, I am not here. I don't ever want to come across as patronizing. I want to be here as a resource for you guys. Please ask your questions, and hopefully, like I say, we can have some positives, and you feel that you can learn something and move forward in your coaching career. So, Ad, appreciate you. You can take off the screen if you'd like.
Yeah, if you just press stop share, should be good to go. All right, perfect. All right, yes, perfect. So yeah, as Matt said, we're going to go over a couple of things here that might overlap, but it's not the end of the world. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But obviously, some great information from Matt in terms of specifics. If you're working in those age groups, they'll really, you know, his resource will really be a massive help for you guys. So so utilize that. So we'll just go quickly over our training session DNA, kind of following on from what Matt spoke about. This is what Matt had in his philosophy, which is our training philosophy that we will look to use, especially in our younger ages. Older ages, there may be some differences, some things to adjust, but for the majority of the club, this is what we want our training philosophy to be, which Matt already went over. As Matt pointed out, these are our kind of 4 session styles of developing and implementing a session, with Matt using the whole part whole, or play, practice, play, teach, play format for the U9 to U12 curriculum that he's put together, and that's a really good and honestly probably the most recommended, US Soccer recommended, I think myself and Matt recommended style of session for you guys to utilize. It gets players playing early. It gives you a chance to use the topics, gives you a chance to develop training sessions. It's a very good, very, very easy way, or easier way for you guys to plan and implement sessions. There are obviously some other ways to implement sessions on a different side. If you feel that your players are on the older ages or a little bit more able and more elite, then you might look for something that's more progressive, where you have introduce a technical topic, progress it to a tactical topic, and then progress that to a game style activity. That's certainly one aspect of being able to develop and implement a session. When you get to the super elite levels, then we may use something that's analytical, where you take a game situation that you've identified as a weakness or as something that you will need to work on. You set up a tactical session based on that game situation, as well as maybe a technical piece to add to that part before you develop into a game. And then obviously something that's a little bit different that can be utilized at more elite levels is that, you know, more technical stations, small-sided game stations, which is also really good for you guys to have on maybe a break week or something that you where you don't have a game week that week. Lots of small-sided game tournaments or small-sided game stations. And then obviously you could have speed, agility, and quickness, coordination sessions, or interactive and fun games. So you can utilize that as well. But certainly for most of what we're doing, we're looking at whole part whole, or play, practice, play is a lot of the makeup of our session and DNA. Just going into the 4 moments of the game and what we want our sessions to be looking at. And looking at just some principles of what we want our sessions to look at. So realistically, your session should be looking at, for example, the category that your session should be working under should fall under one of these 4 corners. So we should either be an attacking session, looking at maybe creating numerical advantages, maybe you should be making possession with purpose, maybe it's about breaking lines or scoring goals. Or it could be a defending topic where you're looking at, can you make it compact? Is it about being brave and blocking shots? Are you talking about right in front of the goal? Do you show balance in terms of our defensive shape in the session? Or there's the two transitional moments where if we're attacking, we have the ball and we lose it. Can you win the ball back? Can you get behind the ball? Can you find your shape quickly? Can you delay the play? These are some technical things that we want to think about. And obviously, when we win the ball, do we have forward first mentality? Are we talking about speed? Are we talking about forward runs? Are we talking about committing numbers forward? So this here again, when you get this is something for you guys to refer back to a lot in our session DNA, because we want to make sure that these are the principles in those four corners of the game that we are pushing to our players. Now, obviously, at the younger ages, you're not going to be able to get a lot of these principles across. You're just not. But as the ages grow and you get more developed players, you might be able to start adding elements in where you're starting to hit almost every single part of every single corner. So you might have already by the end of the season covered the full bases, every single corner with maybe an elite group. And then the challenge becomes how well can you make them understand it? So again, this is something for you guys to refer back to about our four moments of the game and what we want those 4 moments of the game to be taught as. So we want game realism in training. So things that we want to think about in our training: tempo and intensity. Is it competitive? What is the ball speed like? Can you add more goals? Is there a way to score? Is there a way to score points in every game that you do? Is there an opponent? Is there an active opponent? Or is it just passing in straight lines? Can you add an opponent? Can you add a challenge there? Is it even numbers, or do you want to make a numerical advantage or disadvantage? Those are things to think about. If you're looking at counter-attacking, for example, or breakaways, whatever, whichever way you want to look at it. If you're looking at counter-attacking, you might want to create numerical advantages for the team in possession because it creates more opportunities. If you're looking at, compact defending, you might want to make it an even numbers drill. So those are things to think about with the opponent. The other thing that we can adjust to make it more game realistic in training is at the right appropriate space. Now, I know that Tom has explained to me that much like every youth club in America, there is a complaint of we don't have enough space. Well, let me tell you that you have more space than most MLS Next clubs out there, right? 60% of MLS Next clubs have no affiliation with an actual MLS club, and they are working under the same type of restrictions as everyone. Too many teams, too many not enough fields, not enough goals. So areas of the pitch on training days, you've got to be adaptable, and I'll come to that. You've got to be adaptable, but you've got to try and use the best you can. The other thing to think about is rules. You can change the rules. You can change the use of time. You can change the use of which direction you're going in, and you can add rules that can be of help for you to get your topic out across the session. Transitions allow for it. If the play breaks down when you're trying to attack and the play breaks down, allow for that transition, because in a game you're not going to be able to stop them. Okay, so that makes it game realistic. If you stop every time the play breaks down, then it's not realistic. If the defending team win it and there's no transition, there's no way to go the other way, then realistically you're creating an unrealistic game environment. So those are some things to think about as well. All right, coaching standards. So me and Matt spoke. We wanted to create some coaching standards for you guys. And again, like I said at the beginning, we're not looking to tell you guys what to do, but we are looking to make sure that you guys and the club have a good framework and curriculum for us to work in. So this is the profile of what we want a Hollywood FC coach to be. Okay. So we want them to be knowledgeable and composed. We want them to be communicative and polite, passionate, which I think ticks everyone's in this industry's box. I'm sure everyone here on this call is passionate, otherwise they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. Punctual and timely, so organized and prepared, punctual and timely, being a good leader on that aspect. Player focused and adaptable, which I'll come to a little bit again at the end. And professionally and appropriately dressed, which we'll come to as well. Okay, so two little mock-ups of two outfitted and demonstrating coaches there. that are giving us a good example of what we want our coaches to look like, what we want our coaches to act like. They've got balls, they're organized, they've got a whistle and a watch. They look the part. You can tell that is a professionally and well-run, organized coach, just from looking at our Hollywood coach models there. To be a Hollywood coach, we ask that people kind of buy into our values here of no one is bigger than the mission, right? Myself and Matt, no one here is bigger than the mission. Everyone here is a part of the mission of Hollywood FC in growing and serving the community. That's the biggest part of what we do here. No one is bigger than that. Okay. We always attack each day. Always attack each day. I stole that line from Nike. I really like Nike's slogan for what the way they approach their staff. They actually line it as, we are always on offense. The Nike tell all of their employees, we are always on offense. We're never on defense. So I like that we are always attacking each day. That means that we don't have a sulky or negative attitude. We attack each day. We attack each session. We don't commiserate the problem, but instead we celebrate the solutions. So we always find positives and we always find the silver lining. We always aspire to be the best version of ourselves. We lead by showing and helping, not by telling and yelling. And nothing is left to chance or luck. We're always prepared. Okay, so again, you'll see this. You'll be able to keep this. And this is a graphic that I really want you guys to mull over and look over and make it hit home. Again, we're not here to tell you what not to do and to be police, but we certainly want to go over some standards that we want from you guys. No PlayStation coaching, okay? And what I mean by that is that it's very easy on the sideline to stand there and say, pass, 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 shoot, 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 run, 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 over here, over there, move it there, do it there, over there, come back, do this, over here. Now, what I'll say is that might short-term get the solution, but long-term, you have stolen that player's decision-making for his or her long-term development. So the more decisions you make for a player by giving them the information in play when they have the ball or are about to make those decisions, that's one less decision that your player is making and one less learning opportunity that they have. So we really need to dial back on that kind of coaching where we're giving them the information in the flow, in the middle of the game. Coach more in breaks of play when the ball is out of play. So when there's a throw in and you have that moment that you need to tell coach, you need to tell Mauro, hey, Mauro, I need you to be a little bit further up when we get that far up the pitch. As my left back, I want you to be a little bit higher. Rather than telling Mauro in the game, Mauro, get up. And he doesn't know why. He doesn't understand why. He's focused on the game. He's taken his focus off the game for that short span of time. Instead, when the ball does eventually go off for a goal kick or does eventually go off for a throw in, I'm going to give him that 3-second quick information burst and make sure he has with a quick, maybe a thumbs up, make sure he understood my information. And then I'm going to allow him to make that decision again next time it happens. Okay. Again, giving him that learning opportunity. Coach the player and our ideas. Do not coach the game or the situation. That's really easy. It comes down to what Matt said earlier. It's really easy to go, okay, I'm 3-0 up here. I'm going to coach the situation. Keep the ball. Well, it's easy to keep the ball when you're 3-0 up. It's easy to play attacking football when you're winning 4 or 5-0. It's easy to defend when you're only 1-0 up. But we want to coach the player and our ideas. We want to be steadfast in our identity. We don't want to allow the opponent or the game situations or the scenario to, we might be playing a big rivalry game, whatever, or a coach we don't like. We want to stay steadfast. This is what I believe in. This is what our club believes in. We want to stay like this. We don't want to allow the game or other outside scenarios to influence on how we change. And we want to stay consistent. Avoid generalizing terms. Be specific in your feedback and explain just the how, not just the what. Again, for example, instead of saying, hey, Quentin, next time when you go down the line, I want you to, you need to cross it. Can you cross it? Well, Quentin's only maybe 9, so he doesn't quite understand what you mean because his body's facing the end line, and you're asking him to cross it across his body. Oh, so actually, what the specific information could be is, hey, Quentin, next time you're in that situation, why don't you sweep your hip and leg round it and see if you can cross that into the box for Henry to head it in? So again, I'm specific in the information. I'm giving the specifics. I'm not just saying the what. You should have crossed that there. I'm saying, hey, Quentin, you know what? Next time, see if you can get your hip around the ball, get your hip around the ball and get that ball into the box for a goal. That way I'm specific. If Quentin knows, if he's older and he's 18, 17, 16, he knows that when I say, hey, Quentin, you should cross that early into the box there, and I have checked for that understanding, I know that he understands that, then that kind of level of information is going to be just fine. But otherwise, you want to give more specifics, not just generalized terms. Cross it, run, kick it, long ball. Like, you don't want to give those general terms at the younger ages. You want to be specific with their information. Can you use your laces? Can you curl that with the inside of your foot? Specific feedback. Plan all practice sessions. If you don't plan them, then Matt or myself, Matt definitely for his program has planned practice sessions and a curriculum that you can utilize and use. Perfect. Great for you guys to have that there. That's also what me and him are there for, to be sounding boards for ideas of, hey, you know, I'm trying to look at a session for this. What would you guys suggest? And we can send you stuff and give you ideas. Here's one I didn't think I was going to have to say, but it's one that I think is really important. You need to set field markers and boundaries for all sessions. If your session is just 2 goals at a random distance apart, and there's nothing else on the field, how do the players learn when the ball goes out of play, stop and starts in the game, distances and spatial awareness? Because the field, you just told them that the whole field is their playing area. They have no idea what is specifically their space. So whenever you're setting up a practice, you need to be able to cone off your area. You need to show the players distances and boundaries. Okay, that's really important. It's really important. It's one thing I've seen, not just at Hollywood practices, maybe it's some other practices, and it's something that's really important. You can't just willy-nilly just be like, yeah, there's a goal over there, ball play. Okay, that's certainly one element of style of coaching and one element for the guys to learn, but we have to have a set area that the kids are training in, whether it's a pickup session or just a summer session, or whether it's a Friday night game session or whatever, or whether it's a regular session during the full season. You have to make sure that standard is met. We must do that for our players, for their learning, if nothing else. We need to make a connection with each of these kids, no matter their ability. It's no good you guys being best friends with Quentin because he's the best player on the team, right? But you're not best friends with Mauro because he's not the best player on the team, right? You have to make a connection with every single player from top to bottom. Every single player deserves your respect, deserves your attention. You have to try and make connections with these guys. And it's really difficult because sometimes you don't have a lot in common with those guys, but it can be as simple as, what did you learn at school today? What did you have for dinner? Do you like those cleats? Are you your favorite cleats? Who do you support again? Who's your favorite player again? And you learn it and you bring it up. And those little moments of connections are what make people kids think about you as their favorite coach. I always remember my favorite coaches. You guys might all remember your favorite coaches. My favorite coach certainly wasn't the person that I didn't have anything to speak about with other than just the session. My favorite coaches were people that took an interest in me and asked me, how are you guys doing? How was your parents? What was your day like? What was your week like? People who make connections, and at the younger ages from 9 and above, right? Those are really important things to those kids. They want to feel like they're valued. We want to keep our bench and practice areas clean, neat, and organized, and our players too. There's no point if I'm so focused on the game and I'm so focused on game management and PlayStation control in the game, telling each player where to be. I turn around and I look at this bench behind me and kids are throwing water on each other. One's run off to another field. One's over here. One's over there. One's laying on the ground. One's kicking a ball onto the pitch. One's kicking a ball up in the air. One of them's grabbed my cones and thrown them everywhere, because that's just not a good look. Like I said, we want our club to be identifiable no matter where we go all over the country or all over the state, that's a Hollywood FC group, because they're organized, professional, their bench looks good, their coach is organized, their coach is set. So that's something we need to add as well. We want to adhere to a professional dress code, soccer-specific clothing, and Hollywood FC gear where appropriate. Our appearance is the first thing that opponents, parents, players, and coaches will notice. The first thing parents will notice. So if we want to talk about getting those next players into our group, the top level players, if you make the right example with the way that you dress and set yourself, you're going to make a much better example for future players potentially coming across. What we also want to see in our coaches: be open to new ideas, be adaptable, be flexible. We need adaptability in you guys. You're not going to get the same training space, the weather. Lots of things are going to change your plans and change the perfect scenario. You have to be adaptable. You have to be flexible as coaches. Okay, let's just see who's awake. We'll wrap up soon. I want to see who's awake. So I want to go over a couple of quick videos. So I want to show you one coach's drill. Can everyone see this video? I don't know if Tom, can we see this video or do I need to change it?
I do not see a video.
1 second. Here we go. This might work. Can everyone see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone who wants to answer, what do we notice about that session?
You can unmute yourself and speak.
Yeah. Just quickly. Anyone?
We'll
Maro.
pick one. If
Maro,
nobody,
Maro, go for it. What do you see about that session?
Shooting.
There was shooting. What else?
Well, it was a lot of long lines.
Bingo. There was a lot of long lines. What else?
Too much time in between.
Yeah.
Not many repetitions.
Was it game realistic in any way?
no.
No.
What was missing? If we were doing a shooting drill, even with that drill, lots of lines, what were we missing?
Oh, the goalkeeper went home, so he was not there.
There you go. No
No
goal.
position.
Exactly. All right, so let's look at this one.
The thing that's
After-
different about
after
a
an
group
advert.
vacation home, you always
Make this really quick, I promise.
Go and find and travel as quick as you can to the free mannequin. Ready? Let's go, Blake. Let's go. Good. Might have to go and find another one. Good, Hillsy. Travel out. Good. Play it in.
Mara, I'll come to you again since you guys are the only ones that are talking.
No. I'm gonna pick somebody.
Are you gonna pick someone? Go for it. Pick someone.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask somebody to unmute themselves just to make sure he's awake. Paul.
Paul.
Come on, Paul. 5, 4. I don't think Paul is there. 3, 2. No Paul. We'll go to Gio. Same team. Let's see if it's a team issue or if they're talking to each other.
No, I'm here, Tom. Don't worry.
Gio, what did you see on that session?
I mean, to be honest, it was a quite interesting exercise, in my opinion.
Yeah, but what did you see? What was good about it?
It was good because everybody was engaged.
Yeah. Was it organized?
Yeah.
Was there cones and markers? Could you see the specific area they made?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they had
Excellent.
references. Yeah,
Perfect. Exactly. All right. Then last little bit. Let's just look at coach number 1, and I'll choose another coach, and then we'll be done. Won't show you all of them. Tom, pick someone else.
Vic.
I saw that comment right there. Well, first of all, the guy's just literally like straight yelling. There's no information given or feedbacks to the players. What else? He's literally just like losing his mind in the coaching side. So, and there's no coaching points over there.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Good. All right, let's go to coach number 4.
Come on, Brett. Let's go. Let's go, Yuri.
Might recognize this guy.
Next one. Come on, let's keep the quality high. There it is. Good pass. Well done. Good football.
So, what do we notice about that, coach? Tom, pick someone.
Quentin. I'll do Quentin just because I know
Quentin.
he's asleep.
All right. Q, what's Q got?
Positive feedback, encouraging. It's motivating the players to play a little better. I mean, keep the intensity and then the quality up.
Q, who would you rather play for? This is a trick question, so get it right. Tough one. Who would you rather play for? The coach in the first clip or the coach in the second clip?
The second
If you
one.
make the
But,
tryouts,
I mean,
if you make the
no.
tryouts.
Hey, the second one, but I like people being hard on me as well as a player. Like, I like demanding coaches, but obviously the first one that we saw, it was maybe a little too much.
Right. Yeah, not maybe, a lot. Cool. All right. So that was just some examples. Like I said, we'll try and get wrapped up here. Some examples of kind of you know, both ends of the spectrum. They're a little bit on the coaching side and training session. So in summary, we'll wrap you up. We're here to help you. We want to make everyone here better. We want to make the club better. Okay, we want to grow together. We want to make sure that we do it together. It's not, we're not dragging you along. You guys aren't pushing us away. Everyone is in this together. We want to implement an identity slowly, step by step. Like I said at the beginning, this isn't going to be an overnight success. We're buying in together now. We're getting the steps in place now so that in a year we can see a difference. The year after that, we can see even more of a difference, and so on. We want to implement a training standard from today that hopefully you guys are able to utilize and make us better. And we're implementing a coaching standard as well that hopefully you guys are able to utilize and make yourselves in the club better. Hopefully we can make Hollywood FC much better together. That's the important thing of us here today and what myself and Matt are looking for. And that's about it, guys. That's us. That's me done. So in just one more thing before I wrap up. Like Matt said, we are not here to be dictators. We are not here to be you know, to be on our high horse or anything like that. We really want to give you guys the platform to go on and better yourselves by utilizing us as resources, utilizing us as ways to better yourselves and better each other. We do not want to be here and be telling you what not to do and be on your case about do this, do that, do this, do that. We want to hold you to this standard. We obviously want standards. We want to hold you to this standard, and we want you to reach that standard and then above and beyond. And so I think with if you have any questions or anything like that, rather than us doing this at 10 o'clock at night, feel free to text, email, or anything like that, myself and Matt, with any questions specific. We'll be happy to help, be happy to chat back and work with you on it. And we will be in touch with all of I'll send this stuff to Tom. Tom will be able to get it out to you guys along with the video recording so you guys can review it. And hopefully in a few weeks' time, we'll start to see some differences that you guys are able to implement. And you guys will feel those differences as well with us there to support you.
And
Matt,
guys, the curriculum and the sessions and the guided questions and answers and the key notes that you can take for your sessions will be on next week sometime, so you can have a little look through them. And remember, you can use that all you want, my session, all right, the one that I've thrown together, or you can use your own. Just try and stay to the topics as much as possible, and that's only for U9 through U12 guys. All right, the rest of you guys, of course, Adam will guide you guys with that. All right,
that's on Playmetric, Matt.
It'll be on Playmetric. All right, thank you
Thank
guys.
you,
Appreciate
thank you everybody
Tom.
for attending. The only thing I wanted to say is that the season is around the corner. We don't have much time. If Nicole, Mauro, or myself are chasing you for anything on background check side or whatever, please attend to it right away. And I think now with having Adam, Matt, and Fermiano here on the soccer side, there should be no reason why, if you have any needs, any questions, you don't have three huge resources to go to deal with it, and allow Mauro, myself, and Nicole and Vivian to focus on getting the paperwork done so that you guys can do your job on the field and not have to focus on this. But anything you need from me or Matt or Adam or Fermiano and Mauro, we all here, just reach out to us. And please take a look at your emails, follow up on anything that's missing. If you need any help, I'm going to stop recording this, but if you need any help afterwards, you want to stay afterwards, I know it's 10 o'clock at night, but I'll be here until midnight anyway. Stay and I'll be more than glad to help you. Okay.
All right. Thanks so much.